Hey guys, welcome back to the Pulse, where we discuss questions that get your heart raising. Today's question is, why is there a lack of Christian males in church? Crazy. What are your immediate thoughts on this one?
My immediate answer or thoughts, I guess, are that whether you're male or female, you require God.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. I think that just needs to be addressed. You're not saved by an amazing praying mother, or in the future wife, or maybe even grandmother. You're saved by your faith in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that just needs to be put out there, clarified as a first point that needs to be completely understood. But to address the question directly, I think for a lot of men, pride tends to be a stereotype that is associated with a lot of men. I think also, of course, a lot of women struggle with this as well, but just going off the stereotype and just to address the question,
Yeah, of course.
that a lot of men tend to struggle with pride. I think often in our churches today, the gospel is very much presented solely as an emotional experience, not something that can be comprehended, not something that can be quote unquote understood through rigorous knowledge training, quote unquote. So I think that's something that for a lot of men, they just see as something that they need to lose. They do need to lose a big part of it. So pride is obviously always going to be a factor.
Obviously, you mentioned in the beginning how people often have prayer mothers or mummy pastors that they go to, and obviously these are like it's often easier to go to a woman to like break down emotionally.
Oh, definitely.
So do you feel like this is because there aren't men that are higher up in the church that young men can go up to and break down emotionally? This is why like males don't tend to come to the church, because they don't know that they could seek for someone of more knowledge, of more maturity within the church that is also a man, and can relate on that basis.
Yeah, definitely. I think you said that the stereotype for a Christian, quote unquote, would be, as you said, the examples that you've given. But also I think for men, the examples don't always tend to be positive for your, quote unquote, just, when I say the word average Christian, I mean just the Christian that's not a pastor, the Christian that's not in ministry, the Christian that goes to work, is mission-minded in their workplace, has kids and sacrifices their time to make sure that they love their kids and love their family and love their work. When that stereotype comes up, I think for many people, many non-believers as such, that's not usually a positive stereotype. It's usually quite maybe a nerdy kind of guy or something. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't tend to be positive connotations that are thought of. And I think this just comes down to discipleship. That there's actually so many. That's something that I really was confronted on. That when I came into faith, realizing that there's actually so many Christians that are just interested people, that these are cool people that are in so many different fields of life, just in so many different spectrums, in so many different positions in their life and in their faith. And I think that really was something that really kind of woke me up, or was a surprise to me.
So in that sense, are you saying that the stereotype that's been painted of like the men who are in churches are not manly men, they're not your ideal 6 foot big guys, so therefore it's kind of like creating a barrier for other guys that are out there, younger men that are out there, to actually try and explore and actually come and see for themselves. So how do you feel like that barrier can be broken down?
I just think it just requires just the Christian, quote unquote, the actual Christians that I've mentioned that are interested, that are doing a lot to step up to the plate when it comes to things such as discipleship. I think it's in Matthew, Jesus mentioned that we're all commissioned to make disciples of all the nations, and that includes the men within our countries, within our nations. So I think that's something that really needs to be considered. That I don't think there's many excuses that we should have if you're mature in your faith, you've been in your faith for a long time, not to take up that mandate, not to take up that commission. I completely agree, and it goes down to like where your heart is.
you know, if your heart is actually for God, if your heart is actually seeking after God, and it shouldn't be like, your heart shouldn't be hard. Like, it should be easy to be broken down. It should be easy to be malleable and used by God. It shouldn't be a case where you are too cool for God kind of thing. You've got to like be able to be open, express your feelings, and know that you are nothing compared to that in the sight of God, and you can easily be broken down, and God can use you whenever He wants to. So it's a case where, not all male, but males need to just come out of that bubble that I'm too stern, I'm too hard, like, and actually realize that, oh my gosh, this God that I'm serving is greater than all things, and He can use me in whatever way that He wants to. And if your heart is in the right place, you definitely want to be used. I mean, you definitely want Him to use you for His work. So, yeah. So rounding off on that question, what would you say your advice would be to young men out there, you know, trying to get into church but just are finding it difficult because of this so-called pride?
I think the advice I'd give to a young man, just thinking about that, is to challenge your stereotypes that you have, your preconceptions that you have about Christianity. That would be definitely one thing that I would do. And secondly, I would say that if you're someone that is, as I said, most men tend stereotypically to be as that respond well to logical kind of thinking, logical, visual understanding, something that they can really see in their hearts. Of course, there are many women that are like that. Trust that the Bible can has the answers for the questions you have. If you have questions about why is there suffering in the world, have questions about how God allows this suffering in this world. I believe and have faith in the answers that the Bible gives me. There are many other men, many educated men that have gone through that process and have come to the same conclusion. So I would give this a chance, have faith, and trust this process. I think if you're a man that falls into that stereotype, that's my advice. I'd say just give the gospel a go.
Have faith. Well, that's it today, guys, on this episode of The Pulse. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.